Hi, my name is Conny Walchshofer, and I'm a PhD student at the Johannes Kepler University in Linz in Austria. It is my pleasure to present the work that I've done with my colleagues in the last years about transitioning to a commercial dashboarding system and to present socio-technical challenges and opportunities based on an interview study. The success of commercial dashboarding systems like Tableau and Microsoft Power BI has made visual analytics an increasingly widespread practice. Using these tools, companies and organizations are able to standardize the data analysis processes, integrate the data sources, and use data throughout their decision making. So, studies from the visualization and HCI community create a picture of how VA processes work in the wild and at scale, and mainly elucidates technical challenges that remain. However, transitioning to a commercial dashboarding system across an organization is a highly disruptive process, as it replaces siloed data practices and legacy applications with a unified self-service model. So research has proceeded without explicit consideration of the challenges involved with such a transition. Therefore, in this work, we specifically look into the socio-technical effects of transitioning to Power BI in a large conventional manufacturing company. We report on 14 observations divided into three parts. Training is hard, dashboards are hard, and transitions are hard. So based on our insights, we derive opportunities to mainly improve the transitions, but also calls for rethinking how we as a community design dashboarding systems. We got the opportunity to conduct interviews with 17 workers from a company, all with different backgrounds and working levels. It is worth mentioning that most of our participants have spent the majority of their careers at this company, which is actually a common difference between large conventional companies and workers in modern technology companies. Anyhow, the company is a large industrial manufacturing company with over 50,000 employees and subsidiaries around the world. What we see as a huge benefit for this study is that we have already worked more than 6 years with the company, which builds trust. Therefore, when conducting the interviews, participants authentically expressed what was on their minds and reported intimately on the challenges that they faced. So with our interviews, we contentiously dug deeper and asked about painful experiences during such a transition with questions such as, how did you feel when you heard about the change to Power BI? Or what was your initial reaction? Or even, what was most frustrating about your current workflow or set of tools? We were delighted that almost everyone openly expressed their concerns as we heard a lot of personal stories. So now I'm going to tell you a short story about how such a transition was perceived by the workers. The story is fictive, but contains quotes from the interviews that were generally reported to us. With these little visual call outs, I point to direct statements from the interview series. So imagine you've been working in a company for several years and have dedicated tasks to do. To do this, you use the software that's already used for years within a company. You do your work accurately and precisely. But one day, the management tells you that a new reporting tool has to be used. The tool promises a so-called self-service feature and is thought for everyone as it empowers everyone to be a data hero. And moreover, it is the market-leading software for report generation. So trust a recognized leader. This sounds like an optimal starting condition if data can be processed easily and sophisticated algorithms can be applied flawlessly to help you in doing your analysis. So, to facilitate familiarization with the tool, the company supports you and you can even attend training courses in the form of workshops. Pretty awesome, right? So, enriched with knowledge and full motivation after the workshops, you apply your knowledge at work. Your colleagues and manager are fascinated by your first interactive dashboard using the new environment. So great job. No one misses out the opportunity, and your manager contacts you with new ideas for dashboards, and either for the reason of showing new and fancy dashboards, or because the system he uses is no longer maintained or even outdated. So the participants reported to us that they felt honored and immediately started to work on a new dashboard. Yes. But wait, suddenly, not only two data sources have to be connected in the same dashboard, so all at once, but five at once to answer specific questions. So you ask yourself, how can you compose such models? So these sophisticated data models were never taught in any workshops you attended. Yes, and this is an often reported mismatch between the expectation and reality after a general training session. We call this observation, and the upcoming ones, training is hard. So to tackle your problem, you first contact other colleagues of yours who might be more familiar with data modeling. So basically ask for assistance. But even they can only help you to a limited extent. So what's next? You continue Googling and searching online forums to find a solution to your problem. This leads you to a point where you no longer have enough time during your core hours, as you can otherwise no longer cope with your daily business, so you have to find a solution outside of your working hours. Interestingly and funny, in our interview, we heard that watching YouTube videos while being on a treadmill and doing some cardio helps you get a better understanding of how to use the tool. So, what does it mean for our community? As a call to action for our community, we see here the development of organization-specific design guidelines as high importance, such as those actually created by the Financial Times visual vocabulary, as they suggest suitable visualizations for specific tasks. This is also what workers and organizations need, because otherwise, all the other guidelines are too general and they cannot be applied properly. Yeah, to continue with the story, after hours or even weeks of searching for a solution, you finally found one that solves your problem. You can apply the solution to a report and dedicate yourself to the design of an interactive report. You click here and there and drag some elements here and there. So basically taking advantage of self-service and create a first draft, so solid draft of a dashboard, not knowing what other sophisticated visualizations are out there that might help you to quickly or quicker show your data. But anyhow, business charts are doing their job. All requirements have been met for the dashboard, so you present the new dashboard in a meeting with your manager and colleagues who use the report or should use the report from now on. Everyone agrees that it is a great solution and that it will be used from now on instead of the old reports, as it seemed to be easy to use. 1, 2, or even 3 weeks later, in one of the upcoming meetings, however, you're surprised that nobody ever opened your report. In contrast, they continue to use the old static reports, even though your newly created interactive one reveals much more information. But why? So you ask your boss why he doesn't want to use the new report. And he replies, yeah, it's good. But I clicked around a bit and filtered the data. The display changed, and I was afraid that I had manipulated the data in the background. I'm not comfortable with all the interactive elements. So I prefer to trust the old-fashioned report that I'm used to. Yeah, that's frustrating, isn't it? So this short story about challenges that arise during the creation and usage of dashboards should show you that workers stumble across a lot of hurdles during the transition to a new tool. In particular, as assumed knowledge of interactive mechanisms or even guidance on narrating through the views is needed to understand what is displayed in a report. Our community already studied extensively how to design, author, but also to present data-driven stories in the form of narrative visualizations. And that's why we see a great opportunity to explicitly bring these ideas into dashboarding systems and to allow data workers to enrich dashboards with their insights. To summarize our contribution, we report on 14 socio-technical observations, which are divided into 3 parts. Training is hard, dashboards are hard, and transitions are hard. Our findings complement existing studies that focus on technical challenges solely, and we point to a number of opportunities for both the companies and visualization researchers to improve these difficult transitions, as well as for rethinking how we design dashboarding systems for real-world use. So I appeal to you, to our community, that such qualitative studies should be used more often, especially with focus on technical companies, because the truth often remains between the lines. So I look forward to a discussion of this paper, and thank you for listening to my talk. I cordially invite you to check out the paper via the QR code on the slide.